If you're the successful family member, do not be an Indian giver. Like, do not sit here and like throw stuff in people's face.
I feel that, bruh. Like, as soon as I got to the age where I could start providing for myself, I would have times when I would ask somebody, they would just be like, remember I just gave you this? And then it started to build that, dang, like, I hate.
Yeah.
When they say that. Now I have this feeling like I don't like anybody to give me anything.
I don't know why, but it like emasculates me to like ask, because it's like I want to build it.
But I think people really be jealous though, and it's crazy what jealousy does to people. Like, y'all had the same opportunities as I did. Why didn't y'all go do something better for yourself?
What's good, y'all? I'm Travion.
Hey y'all, I'm Jada.
CEO Sean.
It's your girl Yanni.
And we are back with another episode.
Yes, so today we are going to be talking about I guess we're successful in our own way, but we're not at the point to where we making millions and stuff like that yet. Today we want to talk about like what it's like to be the successful family member, even like where we are at this point. You know, I don't know about y'all, like if y'all have like other family members, other cousins, siblings that's like doing the same things as y'all. But if you are like that only person in the family that is trying to build like this successful life, like how to handle that.
Facts.
So well, actually first I want to ask y'all, do y'all already have like family members that are successful?
I have like one. Like my dad is, again, like we're both getting to that point where we're, you know, finding that success. So I think that's good. Other than that, I think
Yeah, that's really good. No, I don't really have anybody in my family.
So okay, that's cool. What about you?
Not that I really know of. When I think of like family, as far as the subject matter, I'm thinking of like just like
your
core,
yeah,
like
that's
the
what
ones
I
that
think.
I
Like
really know.
same
that
here.
you talk to.
And also, I want to say like this is not to like condemn them or like, you know, try to like put them down in a way. Like it's just more so of like, you know, because I'm willing to help them and I'm willing to, you know, guide them. I hope that like it's inspired, like what I do is inspiring them and things like that. So yeah, I would say no, but there may be. I'm not sure.
No as of right now.
And I think that would still be something good to talk about. It's like how we plan to be there for our families, since we will be like that successful family member. I'll say for me, like my dad is like the successful family member, and so I feel like I got to like watch what that's like for him. And so I don't know, I feel like it was like really crazy because I saw him like he started making money when I want to say like 11 or 12 years old. He went overseas and was like a contractor for a couple years, and he was like making 6 figures doing that. And then like he came back to the States, started a business, and like now he has like a really good job. But I used to see how everyone came to him for everything. And after a while, he began I feel like he began getting frustrated because I feel like for a lot of his family members that are the same age as him, it's like we all grew up the same. Like we all grew up poor. We all grew up the same way. Yeah. So it's like y'all had the same opportunities as I did. Like why didn't y'all go do something better for yourself? Like that's how he sees it. Like I had to literally work for this. Like my dad started working for Better at like in his 20s.
Right.
So he's like, well, I had to work for this. Like y'all should go work for it on your own. And so it got to a point to where like so many people I feel like owed him money that he was like, well, I'm not sharing nothing. Like I'm not helping nobody with nothing. And it just made me reflect and think, well, when I get to that point, or when I get to that, like point in my success, like how am I going to handle being the person that people rely on, being the person that people come to, you know? 'Cause I feel like that's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you just sparked something. So my father, my stepdad, he the reason why, because like I don't want him to get on the show and be like, oh, like you call me your stepdad, like he's my father, but I just say it for the point of the camera. But he would necessarily be that successful person where everybody came to him for, you know, like, oh, can I get this? Can I have this? And like he's willing to give it. Like he has a big heart of just like giving to people. And so I would say he's that successful family member, and my mom is was that person to like be like, y'all can't like just continue to, you know, take advantage of him.
So
I feel like all of us, or we, like, you may have seen a person that you're close to, even like somebody that you may consider as family. Like, you may have seen them and you'll watch certain things and be like, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make this mistake and things like that. So like, I would say my father was that person of, you know, everybody wants something from him. But I learned that when you have to, like how you said, you have to figure out how you are going to contribute to your family. I feel like you have to then learn keep a balance of, okay, I'm going to help you out, but like, I'm not going to help you out to the point where you always need me in the equation in order for you to be great yourself. And so you just have to begin to learn how to like set boundaries. Like, no, I'm not giving you like you're a grown man, you're a grown woman. I'm not giving you money every single time you need it. Get up and get it like on your own. I'm going to give you a source of income, a platform in order for you to, or not even a platform because everyone don't need one, but I'm gonna give you a stream of income that you can have. Maybe you can work on my team, like different things like that. So
that makes me think of you, Ashawn, actually, like how you are with your students. Like since Ashawn is in the trading space, you know how they have like the trading groups where they just put the
call outs, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Telling you what to do.
Yeah, and the whole group of people that's in there would just do whatever the leader is saying to do.
Right.
But Ashawn was like, no, I want the people who come to me to like know how to do this on their own, like know how to make a living on their own, know how to trade on their own. And so that's what you kind of like made me think of. But I feel like that's a good way to like be with your family too.
That's true. Like that's the same. Because I don't like giving people stuff. I just don't.
Yeah.
I feel like you're giving.
I'm giving. No. Like I love giving people. I love giving people more than what they ask for. So if they ask me for like $1,000, like for money, I'm like, here's $10,000 worth of value.
Yeah.
But they think they're still thinking, oh, he's being cheap.
I get what you're saying.
It's so funny because like for example, even my sister, like my sister's so funny. She like, cause she does nails right now. She has a crazy, really good, successful nail business and stuff like that. And she's at one, like, but she spends a lot of it, you know, on herself and stuff like that. You know, she be, you know, wigs, all that stuff. You know, she spends it like that pretty much. But one time she had asked me for, like, Christmas coming up. She was asking me for money. She was like, "Hey, like, can you give me $1,000?" I was like, $1,000 for like what? She's like, "You got it. You be doing that, you know, $1,000 a day trading and stuff like that. Just give me one day's worth." I'm like, but I'm like, yo, like. So I said, let me do this instead. I was like, all right, bet. Let's create the business plans, create an idea to scale your nail business. Like, all right, bet. Let's do da-da-da-da. So like the idea that I had in my head in terms of for her that I broke down for her, that idea could be making her 50 to 100K a month. Like, and I showed her like, yo, I'll help you with that. Right. Because first off, you're my sister. Like, so at the end of the day, I want to help you with it, help you grow in general. Because if you grow, I grow as a family member and stuff like that. And then we can start, again, teaching more people how to do it. Yeah. But I'm not just going to give you, because if I give you this, it's going to go to waste. But if I teach you this and stuff like that, you can create your own. Like, that's why I like, and again, like, it's not against anybody that gives people money. It's not against anybody that, like, in the trading space that gives people call outs and tells people what to do. There's nothing wrong with it in a sense because there's an audience for that. Right. But based on my belief system, giving people like the whole like thing, like, oh, if you give him a fish, he eats for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Right. Like, that stuff is true. That literally is in every aspect. So like with trading is the same thing. Like if I show you, hey, do da-da-da-da-da, I don't teach you how to think. I don't teach you how to trade. I teach you how to follow directions. And to keep asking me for it. And to keep asking me. I'm training you. How do I do that? Exactly. No, here you go. Here's the full plan. Here's the full plan on how to do it. I even like what you said about like your sister. I have a family member who like they do a specific field. I don't want to say it, but they do a specific field. And so they make like they're in the creative space. They make like a lot of money from it and different things like that. But as soon as they get it, they go and spend it. And then now they're asking their parent for it as well. And it's like, how are you ever going to attain like the next level? Okay, you got the clients, you got the audience that comes to you, but how are you going to keep that stable if every time you get the money, you go and blow it? Exactly. And then now you need somebody else's help to help you fund your life. It's like you just have to have some sort of self-discipline, like be able to be self-sufficient for your own. Like after a certain point in time, when I like got like 15, 16, I don't know, I just had this mindset of like, all right, like I got to start,
fending for myself as well. Not that my parents ever said like, oh, you got to start fending for yourself, but it's just like, I want more for myself. I don't want to just keep, oh, can I go skating? Can I go here? Can I go there?
I hated
I hated asking for money. Like I just had to go and get it on my own at a certain point. Cause like, if you don't help yourself, no one else will. Like nobody else will, and nobody else can help you. It's only as far as you want to take it. So you just have to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
That's true.
Even as a man, like, and Yana, I want to pass this off to you too, but like, even as a man, like, I don't know, it just something just doesn't sit right with me. With like when I get to a certain age, like when I was 16, 17, I was like,
you get that feeling.
That feeling like, yo, mom, like,
can I get
I want it because I started seeing like, yo, I need to be taking care of you now. I need to be doing da for you. Like the way that I look at it is like my mom was the one that was there like the whole way, like the whole entire way she was there.
Support all of that.
Like support everything. So I was like, all right, bet, like you taking care of me for 18 years, I owe you 18 years. Like I owe you 18 years of buying your time back that you spent towards raising me. And that's a lot. Right. I'm not cheap by any means. I'm definitely pretty expensive. So like it's like I owe you that. So I don't ever like asking people for stuff because it's like it makes me, I don't know why, but it like, I don't know if this is the right word, but it like emasculates me to like ask, because it's like I want to build it. Like what literally what makes like as a young man, like these are for my kids too. Like my daughter, I'm gonna give her everything. Yeah. But my son, he's gonna work for everything. Yeah. Like, and it's like that's just the idea that I have, and it's not like my daughter's gonna go through stuff obviously, but like I want her to, because that example is gonna be set as you grow older. So now my daughter's gonna realize, all right, bet. I'm precious. I'm worth a lot. Okay. But it's not like an entitled thing.
I
but
feel like it's two sides to that.
It's two sides to that. It's dangerous. That's a dangerous game.
It's dangerous a little bit. Yeah. Because I was going to ask that. Like, I was going to ask, like, well, doesn't that, begin to allow her to be like, well, I don't need to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I can see what you're saying because, it'll be different because it's like the relationship that she has with her father, she now expects that from a man, and she's not gonna let a man like just treat her any kind of way, and make her like have to do all the work. Like that's she why knows I said her value.
Yeah. So the way that I'm gonna raise her is I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna respect you. I'm not gonna ever put my hands on you. I'm going to make sure I discipline you and make sure we have that communication factor. But at the same time, I'm still gonna make sure, hey, I provide for you, do everything, etc. So because again, like you're looking at me. So when you're looking for a man in your life and stuff like that, when you get old enough, you're going to look at me like as an example. So now everything that I do, you're going to find those qualities. And if they don't have those qualities, they're automatically X'd off that list. So like, for example, with, Steve Harvey, Lori Harvey, like everybody's probably like, oh, like, dang, why you did it to Michael B. Jordan? But like to a certain extent, like, again, her father, like her father treated that same way, treated her the same way. There's a level of like, a little bit like entitlement a little bit, but at the same time, there's value still there because of the mindset she has based on how she was raised. But like as a man, you got to work. Like I'm not giving my boy, I'm not giving him nothing. He has to work for everything that he has because again, like as a man, like your value is also not in like who you are obviously internally, but also what value you provide to the world. Like what are you doing for your family to provide, protect and stuff like that for your family. So you have to learn that. And the way you learn it is through like that skill. So I don't ever like giving
to teach those things in a home. I don't like my father always said like, be the horse of the house. Like when he would go like away for like business trips and stuff, he's like, your mom and your brother is your priority when I'm not there. You're the man of the house at that time. Like, so you got to take out the trash. You got to do those different things. Don't just be sitting around here like letting your mom take care of everything. Like you be the horse of the house.
I kind of want to go to what y'all were saying about not wanting to ask. I feel that, bruh. Like I remember when I was able, as soon as I got to the age where I could start providing for myself, I remember I would have times when I would ask somebody, I'm not gonna say who, in my family, and then they would just be like, remember I just gave you this? I just gave you, like they would remind me.
They gave you,
They would remind me, and then it started to build that, dang, like I hate.
When
they would say that, bro.
What build it.
Exactly. Same. So I'm down now. I have this feeling like I don't like anybody to give me anything now, right? And so now, after I started feeling that, I'm like, now I'd rather not eat before I ask you to give me some money so I can eat, bruh. That's when like I just started going hard and started like I'm not gonna ask. Like I'd rather just be without it before I ask you. And I don't know if that's healthy, but
it's two sides to that. Like asking is not bad. Like asking is not bad if you're already willing to work for it and you've already worked for it. There's nothing wrong with asking. Like so, for example, like putting yourself out there to, like, for example, ask for something is not necessarily wrong if you work for it.
Right.
So like, for example, if I ask, let's just say, for example, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of an example, where it would be like maybe financial thing, but maybe there's just an idea. But like if you provide value to the marketplace and you ask for something in return, but you've already paid your due diligence and you've already paid this, and you're just asking for a little bit more, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're doing what you need to do, you're in the room, you're doing what you like. For example, if I'm asking for interviews and stuff, it's like, all right, bet. The reason I'm asking for interviews is because, all right, bet. I paid to get in this room. I'm diligent about posting it, making sure I tag them, making sure I make sure that the people that I'm interviewing, I'm putting them on a pedestal so that it brings value to their life, right? So all those things I'm doing is what I'm giving, and all I'm asking for in return is for some type of conversation, right? So asking is not always a bad thing, but asking with you not putting in the work for yourself to provide for yourself and to lack accountability, that's when it's an issue.
And even the one thing I'll say, because Jada, I definitely want to let you go as well, like, if you're the successful family member, do not be an Indian giver. Like, do not sit here and like throw stuff in people's face, because that's actually what motivated me. Like, I gotta get it on my own. I don't want nobody throwing stuff in my face, saying like, oh, you know, like I did this for you, I did that for you. Like, don't do that. Like, put your pride aside and put the ego down. Like, stop throwing stuff at people's face, because now it's like, what's the point of you being a successful family member if you're gonna throw it in everybody's face? You feel me? Like, and nobody wants to be bothered. Nobody want to ask you to have anything because they know how you're gonna react. They know when things get bad, or if y'all have a little debate, then now you're throwing everything in that person's face. Like, don't do that.
I just want to say this real quick. Now when I give like not even expecting it back, because I don't want to have that, like, especially if it's somebody in my family or a friend, I don't want to build that borrower, giver relationship.
I've done that for family all the time. I'm like, just have it.
I'd rather just give it to you, even if you say you're gonna pay me back. It's like, now whatever. I'm not mad if you don't, because it's like I expected you to just keep it. You put that in your mind, like, all right, bet, even if you don't pay me back, it's fine because I already expected you not to. Or I had the mindset that I don't need you to pay me back for this thing. Right, and then with that in my mind, that whatever, I don't know if you would call it boundary. Now with that in my mind, now I know, okay, I'm not going to give past my limits, because now I'd rather say, okay, I can't give you this, but I'll give you this and not expect it back, than me to give all of this and now I'm wanting it back. When you gonna give it to me? You say you're gonna give it to me tomorrow.
That's good.
That's
smart. No, I agree with that. And something that you had said, like, about like the daughter, I feel like it's nothing wrong with like spoiling your kids. But I'll say I think there should be a limit to it. I think like your sons and daughters should learn the importance of like working for the things you want. And so I feel like, so my dad, he gave me like the fundamentals, like, or the foundation of like what I needed. Like, I had like a nice place to stay. He got me my first car. And like other stuff I wanted, like my dad didn't care about me being on like a step team that much. So it's like, well, you figure that out. Or like with my business, it's like, that's your business. You figure it out. Even with school, it was like, well, I'll help you with school if you stay in Texas, like, cause that's like what I want for you. But if you want to do your own thing, you want to go to Atlanta, then you figure that out. Facts. And so, I don't know. I feel like it's still two sides to it. But I feel like I would not have the same like work ethic that I do now if I didn't have to work for the things that I want. So I feel like when it comes to any family member, I think that how I see it is like, I'll give you what you need, but not what you want. That's good. So like, I'll give you like, I have no problem even like putting my family on game. Like, I feel like any of us would, like, we don't care. I will literally help you get set up to like whatever your purpose, your passion is. Like, I will put put you on game so you know how to do that. Like, I'm going to give you what you need. And like when I have kids, like I'm going to make sure you have everything you need and still do things for them.
Yes.
But when you get to a certain age and you start to say like, well, I want this, I want that, like frivolous things, or like when they start getting towards like trying to figure out like what they want for their life, like I'm going to wait until I see them to start putting in the work themselves. Until I start to
That's
like
true.
add to it, you know?
Like we talked about last week, like people gotta, like, we don't want to see you. We want to see you put in the work first before we pour back into you. We want to see you like at least try first before we even do a thing for you. Like that's important. Like I think the thing you said, and again, like there's like you said, he gave you stuff, but he didn't like give you everything. So he like, all right, he got you a car, it's a nice house, but at the same time, there were certain things that you did have to work for. There was some level of like, hey, you gotta, if there's something that you want or there's something that you want to do, you gotta work on increasing your value in the marketplace. Like there's gonna be those things where like, I'm gonna make you work for something. Like there's gonna be something you have to earn. The way you have to earn it might be a little different, but you still have to earn it regardless. So like whether that be like, and for my daughter and also my son as well, it's just more so like understand, like getting more information. Hold on 1 second real quick. Don't skip this. I got some important news for you. This your boy CEO Ashawn, and I need you guys to check out the audio. We are on Spotify, we on Apple Music, and we on Apple Podcasts. You can't miss out on the audio. Listen to how I sound right now. You definitely can't miss out on the and. Don't forget, make sure you check out the merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Definitely get you some social proof merch. Make sure you in the right attire so you can be flyer. Now back to the podcast episode. Like understanding, like, all right, bet what's the definition of someone that is valuable, right? Because if you learn, all right, bet this person is valuable because of X, Y, and Z, then I need to become X, Y, and Z in order for me to add that value. But if I don't teach you those values, then you're going to be spoiled, and then you're going to think, all right, bet because I exist, I deserve this coming in, or because I exist, I'm going to get this back. But the reason you only have that mindset is because of the reason you have that mindset is because of lack of information about actual values and stuff like that. Values is definitely important.
Kind of to add to that, I kind of have two things I want to say. So my grandma, like, she helped me with my first car, right? My grandma and my aunt. And I feel like they helped me because they saw that I was serious about my future. But if I were to just sit around all day, because they knew I had to go to work and stuff like that. But if they saw I wasn't like a hardworking person, I highly doubt they would help give that to me. And then it's like, now with the car, okay, now I can help out with bills.
And look what you did with the car.
Exactly. Did DoorDash, made money with it, right?
And come out here.
Exactly. And then I want to say, like, even with my dad, he always told me, like, don't rely on anybody. Like, always, have a plan for yourself. He said, I don't know, he said 48 laws of power or something. He said, don't put too much trust in a human. So yeah, he always like instilled that in me to not rely on anybody. It's to work, like kind of like you work for yourself. So yeah.
I think my mom, she kind of silently taught me that. Like, you know how like you watch your parents and you pick up little habits from them. I learned that from my mom. Is like with my grandfather, she made sure the house was taken care of no matter what. Like, she made sure the house was taken care of. So she was taking care of him and me. And then, like, of course, my stepdad came around. He came around and, like, we started to build. We moved out to Delaware, different things like that. And even what you said about, like, the car, like, when I got my license and stuff, they gave me a car. It was a BMW, but the car was, like, broke, like, it was basically halfway broken down. Like, the back windows wouldn't roll up. We had to put stuff like on the back of the windows so that it stays up. There was no radio. The only thing that it had was air conditioner, and like, of course, it can go from A to B. So it's like, okay, I could sit here and be like, dang, they got me a car, but like all these problems with it. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this car because this is gonna get me from here into school. And so I'm going to use that for now, but I'm also going to stack up my bread and start working towards the actual car that I want, which is the car that I have now. And so it's like, you just have to work your way up. And imagine if like I didn't, I would have just sat there and I would have still, and then eventually the car would have broke down and I wouldn't have had nothing. And so like, you just have to work with what you have. Yeah.
Gratitude is important. Like, I feel like the reason why being the successful family member, like, people don't ask, like, my family doesn't ask me much. Like, it's like most of the younger people that's mainly asking. But like the adults aren't as much. but they still but it's still a matter of like gratitude, right? So you still got to make sure like, all right, bet if I give to you anything, there has to be a level of gratitude back. Because I don't need necessarily you to like necessarily, I need you to do da-da-da-da. Like, but the fact that your family already gives you like a pass for me, but what I'm going to do is give you information, right? So like, for example, like I said, like I don't want to give you money, but I want to teach you how to do X, Y, and Z so you can build this thing, build this company, or build this thing that can then I can bring it to my thing, and then we can partner and build this and stuff like that. So all that stuff is information that's more valuable than money that I can even give you. Like the more and this is what I thought about. I just remembered it. Time is more valuable than money, right? So if I give you my time, if I'm willing to give you my time and not money, don't mistake that for me being cheap. Or don't mistake that for me not, he's only giving me his time. He's not giving me, like most people have bad value system in terms of, he didn't give me $1,000. He gave me 10 hours of his time.
Yeah. Like that's way more valuable
than $1,000, but it depends on how you look at it. Like I think Jay-Z said it. He said, "We know the price of everything, but the value of nothing."
Yeah.
We always want to ask for a dollar amount or money or a specific thing, or that we're so focused on the present. Oh, I have a problem, or I broke my car down. Can you pay me? No, I'm not going to pay you. But what I'll show you is, hey, here's how you can. Like for example, somebody get into a car accident. Depending on how the car accident went, all right, bet. Here's how to take money out in the insurance. All right, bet. You got the money from the insurance, like you just said. You could take that money, flip it this way. Now you pay off the car and you got this amount of money here. I show you how to do that. That's more valuable than me giving you the money to fix the car.
Right. Yeah. It's like when you go into these events, like don't just go to the event to, let me take a picture with this person. Let me show everybody that I was here. I was around this person. It's like, how did you get here? How did you get to this level where you can hold an event and gather thousands of people to show up for you and show up for the event and connect with different people? Learn what they like, learn the information so that you can keep it in your mind. Because once the information is revealed to you, you're always going to have it. So it's like you get to keep it.
Yeah. And something I also want to say as far as like gratitude, like on the other end of that, you have to find gratitude in being a giver. Like, I really struggled with being stingy for a while. Before I even had money, because I felt like I work for everything that I have. I remember my roommate would ask me for fruit snacks, and that's like one of my favorite things in the world. And I used to get so mad because I would think I just had to Uber all day. I used my hard money to buy these fruit snacks, and you're gonna ask for them. I used to get so mad, but like I used to get so mad.
Mine. What you talking about?
Literally,
it's my fruit.
And Tom is my favorite.
Exactly. It's my favorite. Ask for something else, but the fruit snacks, bro. But
y'all should see Zell behind
it. Literally. But that's how it was, like for real. But I used to always be the borrower. Like when I was like really just still, and I'm still building, but in those for real beginning stages, I was always asking like, hey, can you help me? Like I'm in Atlanta by myself. Like, can y'all send some money, some resources this way? And then I remember my prayer used to be like, I used to say like I'm the lender and not the borrower. And then now that I am in a position to be the lender, anytime I even start to feel myself like be like feel some type of way about it, I remind myself I'm so grateful that I can be a lender right now. Like I am so grateful that I can be a resource and that people can come to me, because at one point I was going to other people, but now people can come to me. And so I feel like it's important for both sides to find gratitude, like find gratitude in being able to be a giver, but also like whatever that person is receiving from you, they have to find like gratitude in that instead of like entitlement, like you owe me this. Like
it's proportionate both sides.
You have to you have to have gratitude in being a good friend, being a good person, being able to give back to people. Like don't look at it like, oh, everybody is like, everybody is using me. Pushman Mitch said, like, if you're being used, and if you feel as though you're being used, but like you could be useless if you don't. Like, you could be useless, and so you should be grateful that you're being used. He said that one time, and that stuck with me forever. I'm like, dang, like,
that's true.
I got nothing to complain about. So
That's
when
true.
I feel like, oh, this person, they coming for me, they always need this, they always need something. It's good that you're being used. It's good that you have some value, and people need to take that from you. Yeah,
used to be where they were.
Right. And even sometimes, like, when I give, I literally have that mindset, like, I'm thankful that I'm able to give, because I could be the person asking.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that I'm the person that people are, you know what I'm saying, asking for. And then also to go back to what you were saying about, like you gave the example of a person that gets in a room, like, they would rather take a picture with the person and ask how. And then you said, instead of giving you the money, I'll give you the information, right?
Yep, right.
I feel like it's based on that person's value. Like, do
System,
you want to get out of this situation, or do you want a temporary fix? Like, what are you valuing right now? So
Facts. Because like giving and asking is funny, because giving and asking is always proportional. So the more you give, the more you have the right to ask. The less you give, the less you have the right to ask. So if you're not giving any value to the marketplace, then to a certain extent, there's only so much you can ask. Yeah. Unless you're, and this is the only caveat. If you're younger, then that's when you have more leeway to ask, because it's like, oh, you're young and stuff like that. Exactly. We'll give you. So, but like, this is for like, adults and stuff like that. Yeah. Your giving and your asking has to be proportional. So again, if you're asking for something in return, you have to be able to give value first. Yeah. That's why you have to give without needing to or wanting something back, because it doesn't matter if you want something back or not, it will come back. Because if you give enough, it will come back, period. Like it will every single time, like without fail.
Hey y'all, it's Jada, your favorite couture fashion designer, and I know you're really enjoying this episode, but before you keep watching, I have to tell you, you need to go and check us out on all streaming platforms. Make sure you go follow us right now on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff, and make sure you go and get this merch. It look good, don't it? It look good, right? Okay, it can look good on you too. So make sure you go and get the merch, follow us, and now you can continue the episode.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have like so strong of an attachment to like money. Like the example you gave of like, if somebody say, oh, I'm gonna pay you back, I'm already like, even if you don't, it doesn't matter to me. Exactly. I know I'm gonna get it back in tenfold. So it's like, I'm not even worried about it. And also like with the thing that you said of like being stingy, like that took me a while to get out of, because for like 10 years, in the house, like I have a stepbrother as well, but like 10 years I didn't have like no siblings or anything, so I was the only child. And so it's like, why, like you said, like, why are you asking for my cereal?
Yeah.
Like,
why are you trying to play with my toys?
Like, you see all these other options right here, but you want this. Like, come on. So I had to like learn to get out of that, because like you want the information, you want value from different people and things like that, but you're not willing to give it yourself.
Facts. Like, you're gonna give, like, if you're willing to give, like, and it's so funny because if you're willing to give anyway, like you said, it's going to be proportional. You're going to get it back, right? But most people think they're so stuck on, oh, well, because I suffered the same thing. I hate getting people, or I'll make an excuse. It's not that I hated giving to people. I thought that I couldn't give to people because I didn't have enough, which is a bad mindset. Be like, oh, so this is for everybody else. If you're like family members, like, oh, I don't got nothing, he should be giving me this. That's entitlement. But if you say, hey, I don't have anything, but I'm still going to give value in some way, shape, or form. Like there's literally people that literally have no money, no nothing, but they're still going to figure out, all right, bet, how can I add value to this person? Yeah. And that person will always get more than someone that even has the money anyway. Like I've seen people at, I think it was at one of these conferences, there was this guy, he had like, it was so funny. He had no money, no nothing to invest in this stuff, but he was just like, hey, I'll Uber, DoorDash and stuff like that, and to get enough money to get a camera so I can shoot content for you. I've noticed that, you've been on the move a lot. You probably need somebody to go with you, or you just need somebody to just edit videos for you and stuff like that. It was a guy I met at the thing, and he was offered to work with one of the entrepreneurs at the thing, and now I think he's the head of one of their teams. Yeah, wow. Yeah, because he had nothing. He had nothing, but he said, "Bet, I see where there's value that can be added to you, and I don't have it, but I will figure it out."
So because I know that's good, because now it's like, if he were to just ask somebody for the money to get in the room, he may not be in a position he was in now.
He figured it out to get in the room.
He valued to get out of the position more than a temporary fix.
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to begin to learn to serve. Like when you serve, like then things will start to attract. Like I'm sure Yanni can probably give like a Bible verse on this, but like you gotta begin to serve people. So like if you don't have money, like instead of asking for it, let me figure out like it for us. Like do you need an assistant? Like what do you need? Like how can I add value to you? How can I get in the room?
Bruh,
That's how you begin to get in the room. Honestly, is if you don't have nothing to offer and you're trying to get in a room, figure out those tiny little parts of like where can you serve in small ways.
That's
like
true.
what is needed.
And to add on to serving, I'll say like for the family members, like the family members in my life who have been like serving, investing in my dream and my vision from the jump, I feel like they have unlimited access to whatever blessings come to me, because it's like, bro, you literally believed in me from day one.
Yeah.
Like my sister, my brother, my mom, like one of my older cousins, like believed in me from day one. Like anytime they could give and pour into me, they would. So it's like, because they served me for years before I started even being able to sell a dress for 4 figures, like because they served me that whole time, whatever they need now, like as I start to become a millionaire and all that stuff, whatever they need, like it's for them.
And then I do have a Bible verse.
Let's go.
Y'all know me. So I know it's not a Bible verse, but it's like a Bible example. So Jesus even said like the greatest. Well, first I'm gonna say this. Jesus was a servant on the world. He's God, like, and he was here serving. He came to serve. The greatest among us is here to serve. He served the world.
Exactly.
So that's how we need to be. We need to serve. Like,
if you want to be great, we have to serve people.
Yeah.
Literally.
If you want to be great, you have to serve. Dang, I just thought about that.
Serving's
Everybody's like, oh, I want to. We're trying to figure out how to add value to ourselves or how to get money for ourselves, but like, you should be figuring out like, and I challenge everybody too. Even if you have no money, even if like you're not doing the best right now, tip 100%. Like when you go anywhere, try to tip 100%. Try to give to somebody else. Like, just like even if you don't have it, figure it out. Like I have friends that, like my girl Kelly. She wasn't even where she was in terms of being a millionaire yet, and she was tipping people and giving people money and stuff like that, and donating to people every single week. Like even though it was like $25, $50, it was a little bit of money, but she was still doing it even when she didn't have that money, or it was negative. Like, you still got to do that stuff because again, it will come back to you. It will. It has to. Like, just think about it like this. Like, how many, like, imagine how many people, like, let's say you only got like 10 more people to give to before you can get something huge back. How quickly would you start giving to those? You do it quick. People like, all right, bet.
That's good.
Let me see. I got 4 people in this room now. Bet here. Like, let me find 6 more. Like, you got to be excited to give to people, right? Because if you're excited to give to people, people will be excited to give back to you. Like the reason why people, that's a bar.
It is
for sure.
Flip it up.
Yeah.
But like the reason, like even with like all of us in general, in terms of like if we're being a mentor, right? The reason people are willing to invest in me is because I'm willing to not only give back to them, but I'm also willing to invest in myself. So the reason I'm able to give to my education and my mind, they're willing to give to get access to my mind. So because I invested in myself, because I did that, and because I'm also, my thought process is I'm gonna add as much value as possible and make sure they can make more money than me. They're willing to also give money to me as well, and they're also willing to give value to other people. So like, matter of fact, one person I taught recently, he started figuring it out and practicing right now, and he said, bet I'm gonna bring my brother on and teach him this stuff. And then he started teaching his brother it. His brother was getting it too. I made a whole plan for him and stuff like that. But like he learned it from me. He didn't even think it was like possible to do it. And now he's starting to teach his brother how to do it too. So like, you gotta
even with what you said, Jada, you just like brought something to my mind. Like the people, our investors, the family members that invested us and believed in us, or you don't even have to invest, but or it's technically still investing, even if it's not
support.
financially. Just support. Exactly, support. Like if you're here from the beginning and you pour into me, it's like you got unlimited access to me. Like you can call me when you need me and different things. And it's like, but it's like if you wasn't and you trying to come out of nowhere, I mean, it's like you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Like what you talking about? So it's like it just depends. But even I feel like even though if you wasn't shooting in the gym with me, it's like I still want to see you win. So then I have to then put my pride down and be like, okay, you weren't here, but you see some value in me. Like I said, like if you're not being used, then you're useless. So it's like I still want to see you win, and so I'm gonna pour into you. And so it's like sometimes we get so caught up in it's like, well, you weren't here, weren't here, but it's like, okay, but I still want to see you win, and it doesn't do me justice by holding back on information just because you weren't by my side from.
And
the
I just
beginning.
thought about this real quick too. Like try to help even if you're not gonna help. Like if you're not, try to help even if you're not able to. Like I find value, like even like for example, like down the line, like I'm doing hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff like that, and then let's just say for example, I'm working, I'm at my office and stuff like that. My girl comes in the room and she looks at my calendar and she sees, yo, you got a lot of stuff going on. She looks at my calendar, mind you, so let's say she's not doing anything in my industry at all, and she's like, yo, how can I help you with this? Like, you want me to do anything? Like, you need me to help you record? You need me to help you do I'm gonna help you with this. She don't even know what the heck going on that board. She don't know what I'm doing, no meeting. She don't know. But she's still like, hey, I want to still see how I can add value to you. That in itself, I'm gonna tell her no, but I'm gonna be real happy because it's like, yo, like you don't even know how to do any of this stuff, but you're still willing to do that. So that means that, all right, bet. You, even if you don't know how, you're gonna be like, I'm not gonna help him. He don't need my help. All that stuff. I'm gonna let him do. Like, the fact that you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you even asked, even if you knew the answer would be no, means that, all right, bet you're trying. Or you're at least trying to do your best to like, all right, bet I want to add value to you in any way, shape, or form that I can. Even if the answer is no, you still try to help. Like I'll still remember that. If someone tries to help me, they're like, hey, I'll do da-da-da for you. Like somebody, I think somebody wanted to edit a video for me. I was like, all right, bet. I sent them a video. He edited for me. It was pretty good, but I already had somebody that was doing that. So I was like, but I remember that though. The fact that he added value to me in the first place, I was like, all right, I'm gonna remember that.
I even experienced that like with one of my really close friends. I told her I had this going on. I told her how busy I was for the day, and I think she even had stuff going on in her life, right? And she doesn't know how to edit the way I edit, like on Premiere and stuff like that. And she literally asked me like, how can I help? Bruh, like that means a lot to me. Like the fact that you don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but you want to add and help me. And keep in mind, she's not even an entrepreneur, you know? So it's like that it does mean a lot.
I remember I think I was cooking something one day, and then I think I was on the phone with you. I was cooking something, and then you said, like, I don't know what it was, and I was trying to figure out like the ingredients and stuff like that, and you was just like, is there any way I can help? Even though you know you can't like cook as well as me, you was like, I still want to. Now you're trying to still want to help, right?
Don't do that, Mr. Air Fryer.
You can't be saying you know how to cook on an air fryer. Like,
look, I'm ambidextrous.
Y'all, Ashawn got an ebook coming out real soon called 100 Things to Make with an Air Fryer. 100 meals.
It's not 100 meals.
You the type to cook mac and cheese in the air
fryer. Really?
Yo, first off, I don't like mac and cheese.
Because his taste buds.
No, I just don't like mac and cheese.
He eats nothing with seasoning, flavor, or anything like that. So if y'all ever want to send us any type of like gift cards to restaurants or anything, just like put our three names.
Our three names.
Oh, and Zell. Actually, Zell can take.
Four.
Yeah, because Ashawn doesn't really eat anything, so keep that in mind.
Bro, we went to the vegan spot and he was like being petty. He's like, is this vegan water? Is this vegan? Bro, come on. Like,
look.
Yo.
Not to be fair, a lot of things are starting to be vegan now that I didn't know was supposed to be vegan for.
Vegan water is crazy.
Because the water must have came from the water animal, right?
What are you 70% made out of?
Here you go, bro.
So technically speaking.
Okay, how do you justify the vegan fries?
So vegan fries, all right, bet. So here's what happens, right? So
he said vegan fries?
Yes.
Yeah, vegan
he
fries.
was asking, is everything vegan?
Everything vegan? Like,
is the salt vegan? Am I vegan? Like, everything, like, bro.
Is this building vegan?
That's literally something he would say, bro. He would say, well, technically, like, come on.
Like, yo.
So the vegan fries thing, right? So
potatoes.
So potatoes, right? So here's the thing. I didn't know at the time. So like, because again, there's oils and stuff like that. There's like,
because the oils come from animals, right?
No.
Okay, so
so I just asked if it was vegan. I didn't know what was inside it. Like, I mean, all the stuff was vegan. It was a vegan place. Everything was vegan inside of it, right? There's vegan chicken wings and vegan all this stuff, but it's not made out of chicken wings. It's made out of I don't
You're not
know.
making
It's a lot of stuff anyway.
Anyways, thank y'all for coming to our TED Talk.
Literally.
Back to the episode.
But I had a question. Unless you want to finish your point.
Nah, you're good.
So I know that we have all like moved from our hometowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me personally,
This
like
is good. Come on.
for me personally, I always think about, dang, how can I still impact my family or motivate them to like move towards better like me, but I'm in a whole different state, because we talk about environment. They're not in my environment. So how it's like, how can you really like inspire them or push them to do better or have better when they're still around the same people in y'all's hometown? And so I wanted y'all's perspective on that.
I feel like when you make the step, they begin to see that it's possible. And so or
they'll make excuses.
Or
That's
yeah,
true.
They'll
do
say
that.
you had whatever.
But it's like some people you really just can't help. It's
Yeah.
like it's gonna take that realization for them to realize like, all right, well, nothing has changed for me since I've been here. This person is doing this. I'm connected to them, and so like if I want to change, I'm gonna have to change at this point because they gave me the resources, they gave me the information. But it's me. It's
only so
nobody
much you
else.
can do.
It's only so much you can do. You can't drag them out their house and be
Right.
like, bro, let's go. So like I know like in business and stuff, like, or not even just business, just in life, if you're pushing to be greater, like you have to make sacrifices. You have to, like, you're not gonna be able to attend every holiday, every birthday party. You're not gonna be able to go here and go there. Like you miss out on so many things. And so it's just like I think of that all the time. And the reason, like, my father, he brought something to my attention. He was like, you just gotta go after it. Like you gotta go after what you want. You can't sit here and worry about what this person is doing, what this person is doing. Oh, I can't make a move because it'll make this person feel away. You have to seek your purpose on your own. And B. Simone said something along those lines on her podcast. And so like what I realized is like a lot of my family, like they live with their parents still, and it's nothing wrong with that. And my father brought that to my attention, and he said that even some of his family, like they live with their parents still. And so it's like, he was like, you have to be the one that, like, you know, the breakthrough, the generational curse, as most people would say. Like, if everybody is still living with their parents and they're old and they haven't went after their purpose, it's like you're meant to do that. Like he's like, I see it in you to, you know, step out on faith and not worried about like, oh, what if. So like, yeah, like I feel like as you grow and continue to excel, it'll push people, because even some of my family members, they told me like, I didn't make this move, but I see how young you are and you're just going after it. Like now I started this, I started that, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I make sure like I support them, like boost them up. Like I see you doing your thing. Like if you need me, I'm here. So it's like when you make the move, they'll also follow suit if they're willing to change for themselves.
True.
It's threefold. So it's three things that go along with changing that mindset. It's inspiration, it's imagination, and education. So I'm gonna inspire you because it's like, oh, okay, you're young. I see that you're doing this stuff, so I'm inspired by you. Then it's imagination. I need to get you in the right environment. I need to take you out of the environment you're used to and expose you to what's possible. So that's imagination. And from there, number three, after you can imagine it and fathom you even changing your life, that's when I can finally educate you. So like even what I'm doing with like in the future, I'm gonna do this with my family. I already calculated how much it's going to be, pretty much. Well, there's two ways I can do it. I could just say, hey, well, there's two ways I'm going to do it. One way is, all right, bet I'm going to rent out like an Airbnb, like a mansion, something like that, probably the glass house. I might have to do that. That thing look lit. Like rent out like an Airbnb, literally do that for like a weekend or a week. And literally just have all my family there. Like we have airbags, all that stuff. We just somewhere. And I'm just educating them every single day. Like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn about credit. We're going to learn about this. We're going to learn about estate planning. We're going to learn about taxes. We're going to learn about this. So I'm educating them on that stuff and also inspiring them. So like, depending on where we get the Airbnb, I'm going to take them to see like luxury cars, luxury houses, different conferences, different rooms and stuff like that. So now they're starting to open their mind up and also teaching them this stuff. So that's going to be just me renting out an Airbnb and then teaching them, or me renting out an Airbnb and also flying them out to the thing too. So yeah, there's two way. It's two way. I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to also like fly them out and stuff like that too. Like,
you could go Jada, because
Something you had made me think about, actually, wait. You can go and then I'll go. Yeah.
Okay. So one thing you open up my mind to is when you say I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for this person, I'm doing this for this person, I'm gonna retire my mom, I'm gonna retire my dad. How much does it cost in order for you to do that?
Yeah.
How much money do you need to be making per month in order for you to do that per year? How much how much is your parents' expenses? You have to have these open conversations because we're always told to hush, like be quiet, don't say nothing.
Ooh,
like
don't talk about money.
Don't talk about this, don't talk about that. So it's like if you never have the conversation, how are we gonna attain reach the goal? Exactly. So it's like I need to ask my mom, how much are your bills so that I can figure out how much does it cost for me to keep my life stable and keep yours stable as well. I can't be struggling. I don't want to sit here and like be like paying every bill and like now I have nothing once all our bills are paid. Now we sitting here looking at each other on air mattress. Like bro, like I'm not trying to do that. So you need to ask questions. You need to have these open conversations with your parents and whoever it is that you want to bring a part of your journey and you want to take care of and different things like that.
That's good.
You gotta be intentional.
And what you made me think about was I feel like, and my mom would say this to me all the time, but we do have to an extent, we have to take care of ourselves first. And then that way we can help change the environment that our family is in. Like, I don't know if y'all ever saw, but a little baby took like his whole family on a private jet to like a family vacation. He wouldn't have, if he was like trying to like take 2 steps, then bring this information back to his family, then take like, it's, you gave a good example before, when I was like, I think you were giving me advice on like my classes, and it was like, I think you said something along the lines of like, I have to build my brand to like a successful brand first until I can really like teach everything that I need to, or teach in the best way. Because what I was doing was like, oh, I'm taking a few steps, like I made a little progress, now I'm trying to bring it back to my community. Like I make a little progress and trying to bring it back to my community. And the analogy you gave, it was like, imagine like cooking a meal and you go to the store, grab two pieces of the recipe, or like 2 of the ingredients for the recipe. Then you come home, try and cook it. Then you go back to the grocery store again, and then you grab a few more ingredients, come back and try and cook it. And it's like if you just focused on cooking the meal or getting all the ingredients and then cooking your meal first, then you could teach everybody else how to make it. You know,
you can't create a recipe without the full thing.
Exactly. And so, in order for even like the stuff you just mentioned, you still have to build yourself to a certain amount of success before you can even start doing things like that. And so I think it requires us, like, I don't want to say to be selfish for a little bit, but really just lock in on us for a while.
Facts.
And then we can do more for our family. Because I be having moments where I feel like, dang, like I would love to just fly my cousins out and have them here with me. Like they can experience what I'm experiencing, and I can expose them to different things. But I don't have money to buy all my cousins plane tickets right now, you know? So it's like you got to really just focus on yourself, take care of yourself first, so then you could take care of your family.
Yeah, and that's good. Like sometimes it's not worth just going back home. Like you want them to experience, get that feeling. Like Ashawn said, like, oh, I'm gonna take them to the dealership so they can see these cars, see that it's possible to be right in front of it. If they've never been around it, if they've been in the hood and they just always around on the same block, they watching everybody. Like it's like there's no picture in their mind that they can see right in front of them that like, I can attain this. I can do this. Like he's doing it. He's showing me that I can do it. And so like, you just have to bring them in your environment. So it's like, sometimes going back home isn't always the best. It's like, no, y'all come this way. Y'all come in my space, in my world, and see how my everyday living is.
Okay. I just wanted to say that's really true because like my brother, he's 12 years old. He sees what I'm doing, right? He sees the work I put in. When he comes in, he sees my goals on the wall. He sees my affirmations. He sees, I'm out here getting in the room, the people I'm meeting, and the success I'm getting, the views I'm getting, all of this, right? And then so now he's like, the other day I was saying the other day, it was like 3 months ago.
We always do that.
No, for real. The other day, last year.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, like, come on now.
I was on the phone with him and he was telling me how he's selling candy now and how he's 12 years old, right? Yeah. And so now I'm like, wow. He was like, yeah. And I had my friend go do this. He was like, I want you to be the manager, right? Yeah. And then so now he's telling me, and I want to start this clothing brand, and it's because he's seeing it. He's seeing me doing it, and that's how it is. It's like, you go out and do it, and it's like the people that's watching is gonna inspire them, spark them.
Right.
It's gonna spark them to have thoughts on,
right.
man, dang, she's doing this. I could do it too. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's go ahead.
I just wanted to add one more thing. It's kind of like paving the way. It's kind of like
Paving
it
the way,
being snow, and you're like shoveling a pathway, and you're making it clear. So now your family members are like, oh, she made this path, so I can do it, you know?
Yeah, and like that's the same. You just made me think of my little brother. Like he sees me, like my brother that's 18. He's in high school. His name is Shahad. He's in high school, and he's in high school. He's in college now. And so he goes to college, and like he's very good at basketball and stuff. And my brother also sees me doing this, like graphic design, entrepreneurship, YouTube and stuff like that. And so like now he's like, he has that confidence of I can do it. Like I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a basketball player. I want to, have a graphic design agency and all that stuff. So like, and like you said, to the affirmations, like I have affirmations back at home on my wall saying like, I'm loved, I'm a king, I'm different things like that. So he's reading that and he's like, what does this say? Like, what does that say? Like, what does this mean? And it's like, oh, like now I'm taking note of that. I see that in my environment. And so like his confidence is up there because he's just like, oh, well, I can do it too. Like I see everything y'all doing. I could do the same exact thing.
Exactly. Yeah. You had a question, though?
Yeah, I got a question. So we usually see a lot of rappers that die in their neighborhood. One way or one idea that you think that we could change that, or why do you think most rappers die in their neighborhood?
Rest in peace to PNB Rock. That was my favorite artist. One of my favorite artists.
Facts.
I feel like that like even Jesus, he was hated by his own hometown. I feel like
that's so good.
People, it's the people you grew up with. They have that kind of resentment inside of them. Like, who do you think you are? You think you're better than me? You can go out and do this. That's what I think it is. Like they have that hatred and
like, well, the disciple that betrayed Jesus. I can't remember
Judas.
his name, but he know who he is.
Judas.
You know who he is?
I don't know, but you
But no, for real, I think people really be jealous though. Like, and it's crazy what jealousy does to people. Like, I'm so jealous of you that you went out and did something better with your life. We grew up in the same hood. I'm so mad you went out and did something better with your life, and I'm still here. Like, I'm so mad that I see you continue to come back to the hood. You giving to everybody, and I can't do that. So now I'm mad. Like, now I'm frustrated because you're showing me where I lack. You're showing me the opportunities that I miss. You're showing me where I fell short. So now I'm gonna kill you. Like, that's wild.
When
like, that's really
have,
wild.
Like, great energy exuding you and like so much value, Nipsey Hussle, PNB Rock, XXXTentacion, all of them people, like I didn't even know who Nipsey Hussle was too much. I just knew like he was together with like Lauren London. But when I watched him, like literally the tattoo I have on my hand that says dedication was because of his song. Because like I just felt moved. I'm like, dang, like he really knows what he's talking about. And so like when people see the good in you, they see the value you, like you said, they want to take that away. So they're like, I'm gonna end your life right here so that you can no longer further extend your purpose.
And then they probably don't even do nothing. Like, you killed the person and you still live in the same place.
Yeah, like you
so
still.
what was the point?
I know what the point is. I just thought about that. I know what the point is. Like the reason you did that is because, like it's so funny. It's easier to kill somebody than to take accountability. It's easier. It's easier to get rid of the concept that you can be better rather than making yourself better.
That's
so
true.
the reason the reason they're jealous is not because you're successful. It's because you're successful and they're not. You're somewhere that they want to be or desire to be, but they don't have enough energy inside of them to actually work towards getting to where you want to be, and they don't know how you can get there. So because they don't know and they don't want to put in the work and they don't want to put the energy and time in to actually get to where you are, they think that you don't deserve it, so they're going to take it from you. Right?
And are you?
Oh no, you good.
Okay. That's very true. And like I'll say, even me, like when I first got into entrepreneurship, I used to be like, like I started my business and they over here like, what about me? Like, but I really, that comes from scarcity mindset. Like, and then I was reading in this book. It's called Habits of Highly Effective People. And they even describe the concept of like, lose-win mindset.
Yeah.
So either it's either win-lose or lose-win mindset, but it's basically like if you win, that means I'm losing. If you go out and do this, that means like I'm losing in that area.
Yeah.
Instead of a win-win mindset, like you're winning, which means I could win too. Like this world isn't okay. I'm gonna give this person this, but I'm gonna take from you. Like that's not how it is. It's I'm gonna give to this. I'm gonna give to this person, which should show you that okay, so they did it, which means it's okay. I'm able to do that too.
Right.
They're doing a shortcut in life. Like killing somebody is a shortcut to a goal that you don't even killing somebody is a shortcut to the goal that you're not even going to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's a disservice to yourself because, like I said, like now you're in jail for the rest of your life. Now what?
Now what? Like even if
you done took everything, you done robbed this person of their greatness. So it's like, now what? Like what did you gain from that by killing them?
They're trying to
everybody like is angry at you. Like I don't understand it. It's like that was a good question.
No, for real. That was a great question. And I was gonna say really like, based off your question, it makes me think, at least when it comes to rappers, and we could probably relate this to other industries too, but it's like it dang near makes you feel like once you get to a certain level of success, you can't even go back to the environment that you escaped out of, like the environment that you worked out of, because those people are still in the same place from when you left that environment, and you really don't know what could happen. Like you really don't know how they could try
sit on the block.
And so it's just like it's crazy that it has to be that way because you want to be able to go back to that environment, like bring things back to them. But
you want to do donations, all of that stuff.
Exactly, but for some people, they can't even go back because it's like a target is on your head now because of all that anger, that jealousy, and all of that. So
like imagine like Jay-Z going back to where he from and like being like, I'm outside, like I'm about to do donations. You know how much security and stuff he would need, because like literally somebody's so like envious of what they have, the knowledge that he's gained, the success that he's attained. They want to take that from him, and they don't want to see him further extend his legacy.
Yeah, and even like Young Dolph, he was killed in his hometown, right?
At a cookie shop or something.
Like,
supporting another business.
But do y'all think it depends on the industry? Because I know there's some people that can go back to them.
I think it depends on the industry, because I feel like I'm like just thinking of some entrepreneurs. Yeah. Or actually, no, not the industry. It depends on where you came from. Like how bad was your environment?
Yeah, that's true.
So because I was going to say like entrepreneurs, but Wall Street Trapper, like he didn't come from the best environment, and it could be people. Like it could be people back in his old environment that have that feeling of envy and jealousy when he goes back to his hometown. Yeah. But if you have an entrepreneur that didn't grow up in an area like that at all, I feel like it's not the same. So I feel like it depends on how bad your environment was for real.
Yeah.
You can stop it,
think that like you have to have like good connections with the people in that environment.
It's like you can have like a good connection, but like still
jealousy can uproot.
But when I say that, because if you have a good connection with them, right, you can, like, you don't need just security. You know people are going to keep other people in line. Like, don't do that. Like while he's here, don't do that.
Yeah,
but it just depends. Like, because like at the end of the day, like if there's the only other thing you can do to ensure that no one that people aren't ready to like off you as quick is if you're adding value to the marketplace. Like you're adding, like, so for example, Wall Street Trapper, his whole brand is literally about Wall Street looks like us now. Like the concept of Wall Street and building wealth looks like us now. Like I'm putting a new face on it for us, for our people. Like that's the whole thing that's the agenda he's pushing, because that's his agenda, and because he's like his literal audience is the people from back home. That's literally who he's targeting. So now when he goes back home, to a certain extent, it's like everybody there is like, yo, he's trying to do his best to educate, help us, and put some knowledge in our minds so that we can use that to then start building wealth even where we are, right? So like, but like with certain rappers, it's like sometimes there are people that are adding immense value, right? But at the same time, it's like to a certain extent, it's like, all right, how much are you giving back to the people that, you know, where you previously came from? Like, how much value are you adding there? But even if you add value to them, it's not saying like, all right, since I add value, now I'm good. Like, no, there's still going to be people out there that don't care about how much value you give, or they might not see the value that you give. And then from there, they're still going to, like I said, like even with my sister, like, yo, she was like, hey, can I get this? And I was like, I'll give you this instead. Even though it's worth more because there was like I don't see it. It's like, all right, bet I'm still going to do my own thing. Like, so like, again, like you're not going to win everybody, but you're still going to make sure you're doing everything that you need to do in your power. Cause not everybody's from like the worst place possible. Like he was from New Orleans. So like, you know, that's like, you know, that's where he's from. So like there's different places you can
it's
be
never
from.
like guaranteed. Like I'm fully protected when I'm out here. When you are on a platform and you have an audience and people are watching you and they see what you do, it's not guaranteed.
Facts.
So you can add value to back to your community, but like it's not guaranteed, because even on the other hand, somebody who's like flashy and like I did it on my own, I ain't need no help, no none of that, and then they try to go back to their hood.
Like
now it's like, all right, people really want to get you.
Yeah, you're giving a reason. Like I never want to give people like, and that's why I like being transparent too. Like I don't want to give people a reason not to like me. Yeah, like because why say, oh, I'm self-made? Like,
but
first
it's two
off,
sides to that.
Yeah,
well, it's like there's the side of like being like likable, I guess, but you also don't want to be like overly agreeable to the point to where whatever people, it's like you're trying to just do whatever people expect or want in order for them to like you,
and not do something to
you. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the quote, like if you don't stand for any,
you'll fall for anything.
If you stand for anything, you will fall for anything.
Yeah, and so I feel like to be liked by everyone, you have to like you have to agree with everything. You know,
everything that the general public says yes to. You have to stand by that and agree to it. And that's why even when you get to a certain level, you don't just go out saying everything. You don't have to speak on every single topic that's thrown your way. So it's like it's just maintaining the balance of like, everybody doesn't have to like me, but I don't also have to speak on every single topic. I don't also have to always be seen or be heard every single time there's an opportunity for me to speak and be
Facts.
seen.
Because being transparent, like the only reason like I like being transparent, because it's like, all right, bet I'm showing people like, hey, like I go through some stuff too. Because at the end of the day, like the whole thing, like your whole objective is like rich people and poor people, middle class people, everybody has some type of struggle or pain. Like everybody has pains and everybody has successes, right? So everybody's going through some type of struggle, and also it could be worse. So there's two formalities where it's like, all right, bet everybody's going through something bad, everybody's going through something good, and it can always there's always someone else somewhere else in the world that's going through something worse than you. So there's a level of gratitude that you have to have, right? So if I show you, hey, even though you're going through this, I know I'm also going through this as well. So I'm showing you all my cards. So at that point, like me showing you my cards doesn't necessarily, depending on what I actually say and what I'm transparent about, it's not going to necessarily put me in danger. So I'll be transparent with you as long as it doesn't endanger me. But at the same time, I'm not going to also change my morality or my belief system to fit what you want just to protect myself. At that point, I'll just stay away.
Would that necessarily relate to like, you're telling somebody like how much you made and stuff, like it's like rather than putting like, oh, this is how much is in my bank account, like that's an easy lick.
That's an easy lick. So
it's like you don't want to tell people everything, but you want to be transparent enough where they can connect to you and don't look at you as like you're invincible, like you can't be touched. And that's why like you don't want to be liked by everybody, because people can see through that. They see like this, you're trying to be perfect, you're trying to like, there's a image and a facade that you're putting on.
And then I also think it goes to like your boundaries. So I'll tell you this, but I'm not going to tell you this. You know, I'll share this part of my life, but this part is not really safe for me to share, you know?
There's certain things you just can't share, like sharing location and stuff like that. Like sharing location,
social security.
There's certain things you don't. Right? Like I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that, because like
that's a boundary.
That's a boundary, right? But like the only reason I'm not sharing it with you is because like it's about value. Like, all right, bet that adds too much value to you and it takes way too much value away from me. Right? So it doesn't help you. If I say like, oh, I'm at this place, that doesn't add value to you. Well, no, that doesn't add value to me, because you know exactly where I am, and now I'm vulnerable. Now you can pull up on me. Like, that's not smart. But if I'm transparent about, hey, these are some of the things that I'm struggling with. If you're struggling with this, here's how I can help you. That's completely different, because now I'm being vulnerable, but I'm using it to add value to your life if you're going through the same thing, right? So it's just about like, how does the value get distributed based on how you're transparent and how you're honest. That's all it really is. So this is a really good episode.
Yes, I wanted to leave people with one more
word.
All right, drop a bar.
I don't remember the whole scripture, so you can help me with this.
She
But
can.
my reminder to everyone, if you're just around successful people, whether it's family members, friends, whatever the case may be, is to be good soil. There's like a scripture that talks about like if a seed is like planted in rocks, do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, keep going.
Okay, so it talks about like it's like the example of a seed being planted in different things. So
I know
the
what
seed
you're
was
talking
planted
about.
in the
Yeah.
rock. It's not gonna grow or something. Or it says it'll only grow to a certain
Yeah.
amount before the rocks chokes the roots and keeps
Yeah.
it from growing.
Yeah.
If a seed is planted in good soil,
Yeah.
it will be able to flourish
Yep.
and grow and develop into what it's supposed to be. And there was one more thing that the seed was planted into, but my my word of advice is just to be good soil.
Yeah.
Like the people around you want to pour into you. Like successful people want to pour into other people, but you have to be willing to accept it and then do something with what they plant inside of you.
Right.
And just because you're good soil doesn't mean that everybody's gonna grow inside of you, because like cactuses don't grow in good soil. They grow literally in the desert, like where it's not the best soil.
That's good.
So like sometimes you're gonna have
good.
cactuses in your dirt. Sometimes you're gonna have fruits and vegetables inside of your garden and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, good soil is good soil. Bad soil is bad soil. So you would at least rather house like good soil for good people rather than house bad soil for those very few bad people.
Yeah. And also like the last thing I'll say is like pretty much don't allow you getting burned to stop pouring into people, to stop being good towards people. Like if you get burned, okay, cool. Learn from that. Treat that person accordingly, but like don't stop contributing to the other people in your circle or in your family and different things like that. Just because you got burnt that one time, like it's cool. You're gonna learn that lesson and be able to move on from it.
Yeah,
That's good.
So y'all. That is the end of today's episode.
Comment down below what y'all resonate with most, and we'll go from there. We'll comment back to y'all in the comments. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe on the
Share.
like the audio podcast, different things like that.
Yep.
But, yeah.
See y'all in the next episode.
See y'all later.
Let's go.
Bye, y'all.